Manhattan, fast-food, Dakar, Sénégal, la grand-mère à l'hôpital, Dantec, tout va bien, Kairek, moi ici, toi là-bas, le visa au consulat, numéro 39, y'attend, à l'état civil, déjà l'an 2000, déjà 2000 ans, au Manhattan, fast-food, Dakar, Sénégal, cinéma, le Paris.
Hi guys, welcome to Aarti Paarti, and today we're making a vegetarian dish, an Indian vegetarian dish per your requests. We're going to be making spinach with moong dal, which is a very small yellow lentil. It's a great all-in-one dish. So let's get going. Okay, so we'll start with 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I'm putting it in a skillet that's been warming up for a few minutes. And I know that sounds like a lot of oil, but that's the only fat in this whole thing, okay? So chill out. Then we're going to use some cumin seeds. Half a teaspoon of cumin seeds. That's good. And they'll start to splutter as the oil heats up. And while that's going, some garlic. Just get a medium-sized clove and just crush it. And then in that goes. So you're just going to let that warm. And you're going to wait for that cumin to splutter just a little bit, and then we'll go on to the next bit. Very nice. So we're just going to let these cook just a few minutes until they soften. We're using moong dal, which is this tiny little yellow dal. You can get it at the Indian stores. So you only need a little bit, like you need a handful, but like all lentils, you'll be happier if you soak it first. It softens it, plumps it up, and apparently it gets rid of its other qualities. So do that for about a half hour before you cook it, which that's what I've done. I've got a big old Roma tomato here. Tomato? I started the American way! I've never done that before. That's awful. I mean, it's not awful. I mean, it's amazing. I have a Roma tomato here. I'm going to just chop it up real quick. Okay, a tablespoon of ginger, chopped. Time for our spices. I'm using some turmeric here. About half a teaspoon. I'm going to put it right over the onions. Half a teaspoon of paprika, just regular paprika. And now some of this stuff that's called hing, that's what we call it, it's asafoetida powder. You can find it at the Indian market. It's usually in this little white tub. You only need a little bit, so a quarter teaspoon. Saute that together for about 30 seconds, no longer than that. We're just trying to get the flavor out of all those spice powders. Now your house is going to smell like how my house smelled when I was growing up. Just like this. Now add your tomato and your ginger together. And then cook it until the tomatoes go kind of mushy. Just a couple of minutes. Okay, our tomatoes are nice and mushy now, so time to add our lentils. That's such a nice way to work a little bit of protein in with your vegetables, you know. And then add some water. I've got about a cup. Turn your heat up so it comes to a boil. And throw a lid on it. Okay, we'll let that cook for about 5 minutes. It doesn't take very long because they're so small, which gives me plenty of time to talk to you about spinach. We're going to use some spinach in here, and you can use whatever kind that you like. I'm going to use some baby spinach. Hello.
One reluctant morning I woke in a bed of spinach. Its deliberate womb embraced me into a placid green trance. I stared at every vein, pore, absorbed. I implored these omniscient leaves. Why am I here? Seeds tumbled from my mouth, burrowing deep into the soil from which we grew, Sergeant Spinach and I. Melody's nemesis. Popeye's master. Your petals profess, do not fear the great Achu. I make muscles grow new. And Bartleby says I prefer to savor you, Sultan Spinach. Charging down a sailor's throat, the fate of a young fair maiden lies in your chlorophyll-packed can. Those cantankerous criminals cower, crying out, Spinach! Your paddle petals perplex me. Vexing scores of oars guide this vessel. Beckoned by your siren song, and I sing Spinach. Why are you here? Spinach replied. Then it wilted and died, but I remain strong to the finish, 'cause I eat my.
Thank you very much. Let's not use this spinach. I have a bag of spinach. Let's go ahead and use that instead. I'm using baby spinach as opposed to the regular spinach that's on the floor here. Traditionally you use regular spinach, that's what I grew up on, but this way you don't have to chop anything. It's ready to go, and it only takes a few minutes to cook. So take your lid off. Taste your lentils, make sure they're cooked, and then throw your spinach in. And as usual with spinach, put way more than you think that you'll need, because it cooks down to nothing. Okay. And then I actually find it helps to push it down a little bit. And then throw a lid on it for a couple seconds. And then it'll just sort of steam down a little bit. Okay, you can see it's a lot more manageable now. Of course, a little bit of salt and pepper. So well with spinach. Just throw a lid on it and let it cook for a few minutes, just so all the flavors go through the spinach. Some regular plain yogurt here. Doesn't that look great? And so cheap. I love it. Yum yum! This is so great when you don't have that much money left in your bank account, you know, and you just need to make it to the end of the week. Because this cost me just a few dollars to make, and it's yummy. It's so good, because you can taste everything in there. And it's so nice though. The ginger really comes out, and you can taste all the spices that you put in, that turmeric and a little bit of that hing. Actually, it'll be a new flavor for you, maybe. I don't know. And then I love the yogurt because it cools it all down, because it's kind of a hot thing. Spinach, I'm so excited. Alright, well, you guys give it a go. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next week, I think. Oh!
Blue suede drapes, wall-to-wall television, and take this crazy pad. Man, it's a mad pad. Blue suede drapes,
No, that was awesome.
wall-to-wall television.